Hey, if we haven't met yet, I'm Marketing Millie. Lately, I've been spending some time wandering around inside the marketing mirror, floating, dreaming, trying to uncover what content creators and digital marketers are thinking about most as we dive deeper into the AI invasion that threatens to take us higher than ever before, or to extinguish us altogether. If you're paying attention, extinction or extinguishing doesn't seem to be at all viable, as the authenticity, humor, and unique perspectives of the human voice, original thoughts, and deep feelings are still the essence of content that truly connects with others. So what does all this mean for business marketing, brand building, and digital content production? What does this all mean for you?
It's getting harder to get seen or noticed among today's content overload. To keep up with your brand presence on multiple platforms with specific nuances to each. To reach your audience with SEO algorithms and social media saturation. To keep up with meaningful content creation that connects with people on an emotional level, and to interact in the format your multifaceted market prefers.
Oh my gosh, it's exasperating, especially for solopreneurs and small businesses. Content production is grinding, sometimes exhausting. Still, communicating your message, sharing value, and introducing your brand to the world matters more than ever. Are you spinning yet? Well, I sure was. Until I found the answer. Or perhaps happened upon it is more the case. But now I'm in love. Ready to discover your all-in-one content workflow? Answer to your prayers software? Are you ready to have a little extra time and a lot more content? I thought so. You're going to love me for telling you about Castmagic. Yes, I know. I always seem to find the marketing magic, and Castmagic is all that. Let's go on a little discovery mission so you can see exactly what I mean. You can thank me later. Let's go.
Hey there, marketing mavens! Ever felt like your marketing tools were as clear as mud? Well, grab your Windex because you're diving into the marketing mirror with your sparkling host, Sue Ann. On today's Tech Talk Trek, we're uncovering apps, tools, and software that'll make your marketing shine brighter than a freshly clean mirror. Let's get polishing.
So why am I so jazzed, so excited about Castmagic over all the AI tools out there? Well, one of the reasons is I can see it as being a really useful content hub, something at the center of all the content demands that you have. Thank you for being here. We're taking a dive into the tech talk item today on the Marketing Mirror, which is the magic of Castmagic. It's discovering how AI can give you a competitive advantage with your content production, and by actually bringing your voice and not just a generic or cloned content voice to your work. The real thing, the really big thing behind Castmagic that sparks the magic and ignites your AI content output is the one unique ingredient that Castmagic is built around from the get-go. The main topic, you. It's you, my friend. It's you. You, the creator. You, the business owner. You, the podcaster. You, the YouTuber. Whoever is putting their precious content that they've developed out there and want to repurpose it into a million other things because they've already done the work and they already have this valuable piece of media. So it started out as a podcasting platform. As I said, you can add your audio and your video, and they're working into written content. They have a lot going on beyond what you would expect. I'll get to that in a minute. So that's the first thing. You are the secret ingredient that makes them work and puts them above everything else. Customization and personalization are built right into Castmagic. And that is the thing that allows your voice to shine in a way that speaks directly to your peeps. And they keep in mind and have respect to and awareness of platform nuances and formats because they're all different. And so they have expanded the content perimeters and they allow you to set the preferences and project needs so that you can actually customize and personalize not only for the different platforms instead of just creating one piece of content and throwing it everywhere, but you can actually create, customize for platforms, customize to your voice because this work is coming from you, not the world at large, and customize to your persona or avatar or client or target market because you can add that into the prompting to get your outputs. That's another thing. So the next thing I love is the ease of use. It's really super easy to use, and it also has a company culture that proves that they value their users with that user experience that they're trying to give you, and with continually throwing out and putting out improvements, integrations that are so helpful, and automation, and they welcome your feedback. So for the Castmagic founders and company, they are welcoming to their users. They want to be useful. They develop the software out of their own personal need to bring their content forward. There was just so much around doing a podcast or a show of some sort beyond that. And so the time savings, the productivity alone will be amazing for you. So together, these features that I just mentioned bring you a transforming ability to recreate, to activate, to execute, and to integrate into a complete workflow, a complete content workflow. So you can use Castmagic kind of as your hub. They can be your best friend for bringing out all the other content. So the phone app is another added thing. Oh, that makes a fourth item that I'm bringing up. The phone app would be another really useful and differentiating, I think, thing about Castmagic and what it can do. The usefulness, the level of usefulness with that phone app is another piece of magic. And I'm going to share some of that with you with an example, again, from Karen Glasser and Greg from Castmagic. And you're going to be blown away. But of course, it does the typical things that you expect it to do. It does all of those things that you would expect to put your podcast in or your media file in and get from any kind of AI software that's going to give you all the things. So transcripts, right? Transcripts, which you can customize the label of the speakers in those transcripts. It gives you timestamps or an outline of the show, which of course is great for YouTube. It gives you headline and title ideas or a list. You can remix for more if you need inspiration. You can also hone in that headline prompt to be, I need a headline of this many words. You can optimize it however which way you want, but just getting the headline ideas that they even spit out at you gives you something to mix and match and think about, even to use on your own. It gives you notable quotes. It will give you your newsletter to send to your podcast subscribers to let them know you have a new podcast out or a new video out. You can also turn it into a LinkedIn newsletter directly from what you put in, your input, your media. Your podcast or your YouTube video can be translated into that LinkedIn newsletter or into LinkedIn post or to Twitter post or threads or X, as the cool kids are calling it. You can have blog posts, of course. How about questions for discussion? You can create a quiz from your content. You can create social media clips and copy You can get lead magnet ideas. You can do keyword research and identify keywords from your content. You can get a content or topic summary in the way of a summary or with bullet points or outlines. You can ask the generator to give you an introduction, a 30-second introduction, so you can create a new piece of content to promote the main content, and it'll spit out the introduction based on the whole piece. So these are just the typical things you would expect. So I could go on here, but I think you get the idea. The thing about it is all of this is from the valuable content that you produce. So you're the input, and then Castmagic simply extrapolates from your work to deliver the format that you want for the various content assets that you identify and to serve your purposes. And I think that makes it sort of magical. And so one of the other things is that, again, aside from everything that you expect it to do, it does a whole lot of other things, which is some of the things I want to show you that we can explore. Because as I said, you're probably heard of and are aware of those things that I just mentioned and that AI software is doing. But I can take it even further with some of the Castmagic magic today and tell you about it. And so you can think about beyond your newsletters and beyond your X or Twitter threads and beyond your LinkedIn newsletter, whatever. You can think about using it in the form of content automation. It has new integrations with Zapier. It automates and brings in your RSS feed, so you can even have the content come into the software and app without even touching it. It allows you to add additional layers of AI content creation onto it, and you can go out and pick out more content to add to your content from the bigger GPT verse. You can repurpose the content in multiple ways, and they're working on new ways all the time, including things like audiograms and shorts and clips for different purposes. Also, you can use it for client engagement, which will be maybe surprising for you to hear how you can go about that. And it can be a great sales enablement tool, which is also something you may not be thinking about when you're thinking about your AI and from your podcast and media. Also, you can research and use it as a resource opportunity. You can also make it part of your workflow integration. Again, that's one of the biggest things that I'm looking at Castmagic. I'm actually thinking that it may be central or integral to a new workflow for me. And so, maybe that's a Venn diagram. Maybe that's some kind of organization in your Trello app. Maybe that's a mind map. But what you want to do is that you want to see how you can piece and how much you can get and have preset and automated and in control with Castmagic to do for you in an ongoing basis. And one of the things, too, is you can also work with other types of content. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute, too. So this is a big announcement for you because this Castmagic opportunity is super real, super cool, and transforming for you with your content overload and with your content workflow and progression, especially if you're a smaller business or a one-man shop or a blogger or a podcaster. If you're a small entrepreneur, these guys have got you covered 10 times over, and it really humanizes the experience. It's not just typical AI to clog up that overflow of content shock. So let's get into some more in just 1 second after this.
Today's video for the show is sponsored by the spectacular, the incomparable, the one and only Eileen Smith. Known to friends, colleagues, and her many fans as Ms. Eileen, she's been called a digital trailblazer in her YouTube channel featuring live stream edutainment and every other kind of video creation has over 2 million views. Subscribe to her YouTube channels and look for a new video, short, or live stream weekly from Ms. Eileen. And you'll love the insider information, tips, and insights she shares in her weekly multimedia newsletter, the Digital News Weekly. You can subscribe using the link below the video to get the latest scoops, made especially for all the beautiful people in the creator community by the spicy and smart Ms. Eileen Smith. See you there? Now back to the marketing mirror.
So I think that you're going to be really surprised at some of what I'm going to uncover today about Castmagic and why it stands out to me as a kind of a Swiss Army knife to do so many things that you might want to do with your content repurposing. And what I love about it the most are a few key things that I want to share with you. So I'm so glad you're here. We're going to dive into Castmagic and find out why you might want to try this app, fall in love like I have, and create a content hub centered from this one tool. So it's really cool. Let's take a look. So the first way that I want to talk about using Castmagic in a way that you're not thinking of is to look at and focus on their cell phone app. And in the case of the app, I'm going to let my friend and colleague Karen Glasser show you the magic well beyond what you're thinking of.
So the way I started using it originally as a podcaster, and I have lots of different shows, and in fact, each one of the shows have their own space, and I will load up the shows in here and then create content. But as we've already been discussing, one of the things that you guys launched that I use all the time. Now, I don't have an iPhone. I know I'm like an odd person, but I use my iPad because it is an iOS device. And I talk to my iPad, and I'm going to show you an example of what we did using the just talking to it. So I have a co-host that I do a show with called Life Uncorked, and we are planning a spring event. And so the two of us talked for 1 minute and 51 seconds. You can see it down here. And we talked about what we wanted the spring event experience to look like. And so, of course, we have the editing, all the transcription and everything. But then the magic works, right? And then you go into the AI. So one of the things that this gave us was descriptions for what we want to call this high level value trip that we're going to be doing. The value props, and we're taking all of these and we're creating posts to speak to those people that are looking to do something that we're doing. Now, you talked about ideal customer profile. Based upon our transcript, it told us you're going to be dealing with travel enthusiasts, book lovers and knowledge seekers, aspiring authors and late bloomers, because we talk about authors and all this stuff. So it gives me this. And then it gave me the benefits of the business, again, to be able to use and flesh out. But like I like to say, but wait, there's more, the marketing playbook. So for those of us who just need that leg up and need that assistance, this is pretty awesome, because what it allows us to do is it creates the marketing plan to grow this. It tells us what we should do and in what order. And then it gives me, of course, the hooks. These are the things that we can use for tweets. We can use for social posts. We can use for almost anything. It gives me the cold 3-touch email sequence to invite people to this event. Now, of course, this is all from our talk, our speak, our tone, our context. And so there's nothing, and Sue Ann, I know that you said before, it's not grabbing from other people, it's the stuff that we have actually created. So it gives me these emails.
Hold on, this is just a 90-second conversation and gave you all this?
Literally, 1 minute and 51 seconds.
It's 2 minutes and you've got all this content. Wow.
It also created the stuff that we're going to use for our landing page. So when we create the landing page for people to actually sign up, we will have different use cases that will talk to the people that might be the exclusive travel experience. So that will be one of the examples that will be sitting on that landing page. They might, be something else, a fascinating author or whatever it is. So we're going to do that. And then it gives me customer and uses case. My dog is busy squeaking over here. It gives me Instagram ads because I asked for that. I want to be able to put ads out. So it gives me actual ads and things that we can then, the call to action, book your exclusive trip now. We can take Now, again, this is something that we chatted in our iPad. We did not do an actual show on this. If I had done an actual show, I probably would go in there and grab audio clips from there and use those, but we don't have that. The analogies, again, can you imagine? This is what spits out in 1 minute and 51 seconds. And then this is
No,
kind
a
of
minute 51 seconds recording. It spits it out in a few minutes of
oh,
like,
literally, yeah,
like
exactly.
that's the whole thing. It's like it took you 2 minutes to record, maybe 3 minutes to get all this. And
Right.
so 5 minutes, you now have everything you would need based on the
Exactly.
thought you had.
Exactly. And so now I'm able to look at the different opportunities that maybe I didn't even think about in terms of doing for this group trip. That maybe we're going to create an online community and discussion before the actual event happens, so that we can actually get people excited about it and make them want to join in. And and then lead magnets, because of course, most websites and most opt-in pages, you need to have a lead magnet. And for those of you who are listening, whether it's live or on replay, what is a lead magnet? It's an ethical bribe, literally. It is a way to get people to give you their most prized possession, their email address. And I say that with all seriousness, because we all get spammed 10, 20, 30 times a day in our email. So for them to give you their email, you want to give them something valuable. And in this case, what we decided to do was a travel guide to Napa. And so we actually created another recording. We talked about the different restaurants. We talked about the different locations, the hotels, and we created, in fact, a travel guide. Should I show that?
Yeah, but real quick, so to answer the question here, so what you're seeing right now is, yes, Karen did nothing. This is a preset that we've built. It is not part of the 8 that comes out of the box. This is something that we've kept exclusive to those that would be interested, because it has to take a very specific recording in order for this to work. And
Right.
we just didn't know how to market that. So Karen, being part of the Slack community, being a valued member, she was able to get inside and go like, hold on, what? I would love to get access to this. So that's another reason to join.
And it tells me what to do next.
Yeah.
And of course, we've spoken about that you can actually create new custom prompts. You can go into the community prompts. Maybe it's something that, that you didn't think about. I love the things that you have added here, where, the company has added here, so we can just simply jump, because that is a very long document that was just given to me. So I might just want to go to the emails. And so I'm able to do that. The other thing that's kind of cool about this is the download of the CSV. So we were talking about the hooks in here. I might want to do an entire social campaign on this. I can download it as a CSV. I can then take it into a platform like Canva. I can do a bulk upload, find a really pretty picture on an image for a post, and merge the whole thing. And that can get done basically in, I don't know, 3 minutes flat. So what I really love about this is allowing me to work smarter, not harder. Because if any one of these things, if I were to be doing this one at a time, I couldn't. I mean, that's the reality. I really couldn't. And I'm a solopreneur, so I work on my own. So this allows me to work on my own and get it done.
You mean Castmagic's AI is me?
Yep, all you. But distilled, organized, quoted, repurposed, summarized, time-stamped, restated, and upgraded you. Your voice, your style, your tone are all represented in your magically expanded AI content. And Castmagic gives you whatever outputs you preset or remixed in the blink of an eye.
You mean every piece of content I give it turns into mega output, all to my own specs and in my own voice?
You can even preset unique client avatars for every spaces area you set up to customize your content. To put together a wide world of content, like an ebook, guide, case study, white paper, or even an e-course, go ahead and test out the new Pages feature that lets you add several content pieces to mesh together for a deeper dive output.
This Castmagic tool sounds so powerful and so magical. It really is impressive. But how hard, I wonder, is it to work with this thing? Let's check it out. I'm going to take you right there and show you just how easy and shockingly user-friendly this whole thing is. First of all, you don't even have to input the files of your media if you don't want to, because you can simply add your RSS feed from your podcast and it will automatically be drafted into your file. If you're a podcaster, you're really all set because you have this interface that lets you say podcasting. And when you say podcasting, it gives you these automatic inputs. Because the founders were podcasters, this was a key for them starting this whole Castmagic software and app, was to translate podcasting into all the useful pieces that they need. So this is preset for you. You don't have to do a thing to get all these. You can then adjust, add on, or subtract prompts depending on your specific needs. And you can bring an RSS feed from other sources as well. So if you want to do a competitor analysis, you can bring in competitive RSSs to your podcast. You can also bring in sources that you're going to talk about on a featured show and get that information directly translated from the work that you're talking about. So there are a lot of really cool uses, again, that I want to point out that aren't the typical.
Okay, so what I want to tell you now is some of the atypical use cases that I want to share because they may be surprising, but they'll also delight you when you realize that you'll be saving massive amounts of time and you'll be increasing your productivity exponentially. First off, for client work, for coaches, for training, or for master classes, why not put your Zoom files, your audio files, even your phone call files, audio files, or your video files into Castmagic, and abracadabra, you'll get meeting notes, an outline of topics covered. You'll get your strategy notes and next steps outlined. You're organized, outlined, and ready to go without even lifting a finger. But then you have it ready to send the client a comprehensive meeting outline, but within minutes. And you can keep your customer call notes in CVS files if you like, so that you can keep notes, track of customers and each individual customer. You can streamline your client onboarding and project workflows using this system. How does all that sound? With the new, although still in beta, feature of Pages, you can compile information and notes from related topic files, and then you can get specialty outputs. For example, you can get quizzes or follow-up questions on a topic from a deeper dive perspective. You can get case studies that are pulled from this intensive input. You can get workbooks on a topic if the information is presented in the right way and it's a how-to type of topic. You can even get suggestions for lead magnets from this compilation of this deep dive into a topic or a subject related matter. You can also get an outline for a course from that same resource rich information that you input. So those are some things that you may not be thinking about using Castmagic or your AI tool to do. Also, what I think is really cool is that you can automate the entire workflow with Castmagic by as simple a process as you'd like or as complex a process as you like, whatever you require. So for example, you can use RSS feeds to connect, or you can use Zapier to automate both input and output for hands-off operations until the final edit and polish stages. So everything comes in, everything gets spit out, and it gets tossed to where you want it, whether it's into your WordPress blog, whether it's into your LinkedIn profile as a newsletter draft, wherever you send it from Castmagic, it's then waiting for you to polish and send out. So, you pop in at about step 3 or 4, which is awesome, I think. So again, time saver, automation, keeping your workflow going, all these things I think are really great. So the other thing is that Castmagic gives you spaces. So you can separate your projects by the podcast, by the topic, by the show, or by the client, for example. And you can set each area with specific prompts to their respective specs for that particular audience and the content tone. So adapt your prompts to present you with the most relevant outputs in exactly the way you want to reach the people for each specified space. This is really cool. This gives you a lot of control, a lot of that personalization and customization. And it's not only about you and how you want to talk to your audience in your own style and tone and humanize, be you, but you also want to have an idea of who they are and also gear how you present and what you present to what they want to hear, what they need to hear, what they want from you. So it's kind of a two-way street, which I think is also very awesome that you can set it up like that to be automatically in tune with those specific things that are going to resonate with your audience. But don't be afraid to start small. Test the software. Take it for a spin, experiment with it, try using it in a few ways, and go ahead and hone each thing you do so you get better and it gets easier as you go. I have so many things to try out, but I'm so excited about all the Castmagic content possibilities because they keep coming by the day. And I know there are a million choices out there for your Mars stack, especially when AI is involved. But I admit I do love to drop into a rabbit hole on occasion to learn and to try things to test and to see what's out there to play with the latest things. But still, more than ever, I'm really concentrating right now on finding a small and mighty set of tools to do the heavy lifting, but cohesively. And yep, I'm looking for some easiness too, because I'm an overloaded girl. And Castmagic is shining more and more as all that. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Castmagic may just be the perfect new central content hub for you and for my sparkling content management plan. It's a new way to create a powerful content workflow with unlimited possibilities and more on the way from the dedicated team. Grab it. I have an affiliate link below, so give it a click and let me know what you think. Thank you.
And I want to give a huge shout out to Eileen Smith, our first video sponsor. Make sure you sign up for her digital media weekly newsletter. You're gonna love it. Link below. Check out Castmagic. And speaking of Castmagic, learn more with Marketing Millie and her friend Nikola Tesla. Local and out of this world, genius and pal.